A voice that stopped time. Please, just $10. The voice was small, trembling, and came from below. Jonathan Blake, the powerful CEO of a Fortune 500 company, had just stepped out of the hospital conference room after finalizing a multimillion-dollar donation plan. He was walking through the hallway, checking his phone, when he felt a tiny tug on his sleeve. Looking down, he saw a boy, no older than 7, eyes wide, holding a crumpled $5 bill in his hand. His sweater had holes in the sleeves, and his shoes were untied. "Sir, please. I just need $10 more to help my mom." Jonathan blinked. In his world of polished suits and corporate deals, he wasn't used to requests like this. For a second, he thought maybe it was a scam. But something in the boy's eyes, pure, desperate, and determined, stopped him cold. "Why do you need $10? Jonathan asked softly, crouching down. The boy swallowed hard. "She's sick. The nurse said I need to buy the medicine, or she won't get better. I have $5 already." Jonathan looked past the boy and saw a woman, thin, tired, wearing a hospital gown, sitting alone on a bench with 4 lines taped to her arm. She smiled weakly at her son. That smile held pain and pride. This wasn't just a child begging. This was a child fighting. A CEO meets reality. For Jonathan, the moment hit harder than any boardroom deal ever had. He had built his empire from the ground up, sure, but it had been years since he'd felt what real struggle looked like. He'd forgotten the face of desperation. He'd forgotten why he had started helping hospitals in the first place. Jonathan took a deep breath and asked, "What's your name?" "Malik," the boy replied. "I'm 7. I stay with my mom. We don't have anyone else." Jonathan gently asked the boy to show him the prescription. Malik eagerly handed over a crumpled paper from his pocket. Jonathan read it. It was a real prescription, and the medicine wasn't even expensive. Just barely out of reach for a boy with only $5. "How did you get the 5? Jonathan asked. "I sold my toy car," Malik whispered, his voice breaking. "It was my favorite." Jonathan's chest tightened. In a world where people fought over billions, here was a boy giving up his only toy to save the one person he loved most. More than just $10. Jonathan stood up, pulling out his wallet. But instead of just handing Malik the $10, he knelt down again and looked him in the eye. "Malik, you're a hero. Do you know that?" Malik looked confused. "You're not just helping your mom. You reminded me of something very important today," Jonathan said. He handed Malik not just a $10 bill, but a full envelope. "Take this to the pharmacy window. They'll help you." Malik ran off with a smile that could light up the darkest room. Jonathan walked over to the woman, Malik's mother, and sat beside her. "He's brave," Jonathan said. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "He's all I have. And I didn't even know he left to get help." Jonathan nodded. "He reminds me of me, when I had nothing but a dream and someone to fight for." He didn't just pay for the medicine. He arranged for full treatment, recovery care, and support for Malik's schooling. But he didn't stop there. The boy who changed everything. The next day, Jonathan called a press conference, not about his hospital donation, not about his company profits, but about a boy named Malik. He told the world, "Yesterday, I met someone braver than most adults I know. A 7-year-old with $5 and a heart full of hope reminded me why we must never ignore the small voices." Malik didn't ask for much, just $10 to save his mom. But what he gave me was priceless. The story went viral. People around the country were moved. Donations poured in for Malik and his mom. But more than that, a new fund was started, called the Malik Foundation, dedicated to helping families who fall through the cracks of the healthcare system. Malik became a symbol of courage and compassion. And Jonathan, he became something more than a CEO. He became a man who remembered his purpose. Sometimes, the smallest voices carry the biggest truths. And sometimes, all it takes to change the world is just $10 and a whole lot of love.